In this podcast episode, the host interviews Sara Saffari, a social media influencer and fitness enthusiast. They discuss various topics, including the muscle mommy movement, body image, the challenges of dating as an influencer, and the changing landscape of masculinity and femininity in Gen Z. Sara starts by talking about the muscle mommy movement, which she recently discovered. She explains that while she had heard guys comment on her posts using the term muscle mommy, she had never heard women addressing themselves or each other as muscle mommies until recently. She mentions that Gymshark even released a muscle mommy t-shirt, which she found interesting. The conversation then shifts to body image and the ideal female shape. Sara shares her personal experience of fluctuating weight throughout high school and her desire to have abs. She also mentions that her mother taught her that confidence is what makes a person attractive, regardless of their physical appearance. The discussion then moves on to the trend of thigh gaps and the obsession with physical appearance on the internet. Sara recalls how girls in high school would compare their thigh gaps, which she found toxic. She also mentions the rise of leg lengthening surgery among men and the increasing focus on arbitrary physical attributes. The conversation then delves into the rapid gain in status for influencers, particularly for young girls. Sara talks about the advantages of gaining millions of followers, such as financial stability and the ability to support her family. She also mentions the increase in attention and the challenges of dating as an influencer, including the constant scrutiny and invasion of privacy. The host brings up the perception of Gen Z men and their priorities. Sara shares her observations, stating that many young men prioritize friends, partying, and going out. She also mentions that she values ambition and drive in a partner, as it is a significant turn-on for her. The discussion then turns to the trend of girls on TikTok filming guys looking over while they are doing videos. Sara expresses her thoughts on this trend, stating that the age gap and context matter when interpreting someone's gaze. She believes that sometimes guys may be glancing over out of curiosity or admiration rather than trying to hit on someone. The conversation then explores the challenges of dating as an influencer and the difficulties of finding someone who understands the demands of the industry. Sara mentions the importance of finding someone who is motivated and dedicated to something, as she finds drive and ambition attractive. The host brings up the recent controversy surrounding influencers and their behavior, citing examples of Lizzo and Ellen DeGeneres. Sara acknowledges that it can be challenging to find genuine role models in the influencer world, as some people may portray themselves as understanding and accepting but turn out to be different. The discussion then shifts to the world of combat sports and the rise of influencer boxing matches. Sara expresses her interest in participating in an influencer boxing event and mentions the potential benefits for both influencers and traditional athletes. The conversation continues with a fun segment where Sara is asked to choose 10 exercises she would do for the rest of her life. She selects exercises such as leg press, military press, incline dumbbell press, weighted pull-ups, and hanging leg raises. Sara continues by discussing the challenges of body image and offers advice to girls and guys who are unhappy with their bodies. She emphasizes the importance of implementing physical activity into daily routines, whether it's going to the gym or simply going for a walk. Sara personally enjoys going to the gym and sees it as a time for herself. She also mentions the benefits of working out alone, although she acknowledges that some people may prefer going with a friend or family member. The conversation then shifts to Sara's daily routine and lifestyle. She reveals that she sleeps about 10 hours a night, which she believes is important for muscle growth. Sara also mentions that she is currently in school and has about 8 weeks left until she completes her degree. Additionally, she admits to spending a significant amount of time on her phone, primarily scrolling through social media. While she tries to convince herself that she is using it for work purposes, she acknowledges that she often mindlessly scrolls and hopes to find inspiration. The discussion then delves into the challenges and disparities faced by women in the fitness and influencer industry. Sara mentions that women often face more scrutiny and are judged based on their appearance. She highlights the discrepancy in brand partnerships and payment between men and women, noting that men are often treated better and receive more favorable deals. Sara expresses her frustration with the unfair treatment and the finesse that occurs within the industry. The conversation then explores the sexualization of women on social media and the rise of platforms like OnlyFans. Sara shares her concerns about the long-term effects of monetizing one's body and the potential impact on personal relationships. She questions the empowerment narrative often associated with platforms like OnlyFans and wonders if it truly liberates women or if it perpetuates transactional relationships with men. Sara also discusses the stigma and branding issues that come with being associated with such platforms. The podcast then touches on the changing landscape of marketing and the increasing power of women as consumers. Sara mentions that women are projected to control 50% of global capital by 2030 and highlights the need for brands to adapt their marketing strategies accordingly. She also discusses the recent attempts by brands to appear more pro-female, but questions the authenticity behind these efforts. The conversation concludes with a discussion about the future plans of both Sara and the podcast host. Sara expresses her intention to continue her current routine and posting schedule on social media. She also mentions her interest in exploring potential partnerships with companies in the future. The host shares his plans to interview influential figures in various fields and mentions some of the guests he hopes to have on the podcast. Thanks for watching. If you enjoyed the video, make sure to like and subscribe.